Cool. So I have a design and I have a design. Okay, so here's MultiSIM as an interface. And as an interface, it is, I'm sorry, everything is so small on this. It's tiny. My goodness. Can I make this any bigger? View. Zoom in. That's only my worksheet. Okay. Well, I'll probably have to create a PowerPoint to help you out with this. But I happen to have different components in my toolbox. My toolbox, if I click on this, right to here, here's part of the toolbox, and it shows in this toolbox, I happen to have my master database. Here, I happen to have basic components. What kind of basic components are there? Well, resistor and capacitor, inductor, those are basic components. And then my next tool in the toolbox right here, placing diodes. I have different kinds of diodes, so LEDs, rectifier diodes, and then I also can place transistor components. So if I were to build a circuit here, I would go back to basic components, and in basic components, I could select a resistor. And as I select a resistor, here is a resistor. So I'm just going to take one. And if I hit OK, it'll pop onto my screen. So here's one, and I'm just going to place it right there. And then hit OK. And then I have a second resistor, which I'm going to place over here. And then hit OK. I will have a third resistor, which I will place over here. And then hit OK. I will have a fourth resistor I will place here. Hit OK. Have a fifth resistor, which I will place here. And then beyond basic, let me go to source. So I want a DC power, this guy here. Take this and place it here. And that's all I need so far. So those are the basic components of the circuit that we've just put together. Now, let me go ahead and zoom in and zoom in further. And let's do zoom in some more. And probably one more time. Okay. These are nice big components. Yay. All right. I click on R1, I hit Control R, and it rotates. I click on R3, I hit Control R, and it rotates. I can take this, move this guy up here. This guy looks pretty good where it is. Line this guy here, take this guy, line this guy up over here, take this guy. This guy has a positive lead on top. I'm going to Control R. Now I have negative lead on top. And place this guy right over here. And oops, I moved the value separate of the resistor. Sorry. All right, so move this guy. Yeah, go away. I'm not ready to change the value. Okay, this is a good start. Now I'm going to go to connect wires. Now when I go to connect wires, I have a black dot come up here and come over to here, and it becomes a red wire. I will go ahead and take this, come over to here, drop down, make a connection, come over to here, make a connection, take this, come over to here, and make a connection. Click it to make a connection, come over here, and over to here, click to make a connection, and do it here as well as here. Okay, so is the building of this very similar to Tina so far? Okay, just a slightly different interface. I can nudge each of these guys to make sure that they are electrically connected, which they are. I can take this guy, oops, select the resistor, move it up, move it down so it is electrically connected. There, there. Take this guy here, here. That's good. Take this guy, move it up. So you should do the nudge on all of these just to make sure you have good electrical connection. And so the wires follow. As long as the wires follow, we're good. Let's go ahead and this will be 980 and hit enter. Let me move my camera out of the way. All right, 980. And then we want to make this guy up here 2K ohm and hit enter. And then we want to make this guy, if I type in 1500, it'll automatically change appropriately for me. Boom. It'll become, no, it doesn't make it automatic. I do have to put in the K. So 1.5K. Boom. There we go. And then this guy here is going to be 330, enter. And this guy over here is going to be 770, 770, hit enter. And our voltage source was 28 volts. So 28, boom. Okay, if I wasn't talking so much, this thing would have been built in half the time. So in terms of how MultiSIM works, it works very similarly to the Tina that you've played with so far. What I'm going to do, since I've done this much work, I'm going to do a file save as. So do file, save as. I'm going to save it to a very specific location. I'll keep it here. And this will be, I'll call this WK-11. And this will be series-parallel. And this has 5 resistors, yes? 5R. Okay. So we're keeping the naming format similar to what we've used in Tina. That being said, now show you how to make measurements of different things. If I wanted to bring in a meter, I have a variety of different meters: logic, word generator, frequency counter, Bode plot, 4-channel oscope, watt meter, function generator, multimeter, yay. So the multimeter will come here, and I can then place it to make a connection across any component. So we calculated R2 to be 8.94 volts. If I now connect this guy, and I got to be mindful of my polarities, so negative, positive, negative, positive. So negative is in fact on this side. And let me nudge this wire up, okay, and make the connection over to here. And I can select this wire and nudge it up also, so it's not in the way of my lettering. Then I can go to simulate and run. So everybody, simulate and run. When I do the simulate and run, circuit is not grounded. Oh, they want me to have a ground. Okay, be that way. I will go ahead and insert a ground. Oh, and okay, and I'm going to place it here. There, and get rid of this. And now simulate and run. And as I simulate and run, and if I zoom out, if I do this, I should be able to double click and see my digital multimeter. And although it's really tiny on your screen, and we'll have to work on the zoom characteristics, we calculated 8.94. On my screen, it works out to be 8.938. So guess what? That would round out to be, that would round out to be 8.94. So your measurements of voltages are as easily accomplished as doing things this way. Could we have multiple voltages on here? The answer is yes. So if I come up here and click, I have to get this into the stop mode. You can't build while this is in the run mode. So I'm going to hit stop and then bring in another multimeter and bring in another multimeter and bring in another multimeter and bring in one more multimeter. And we can connect them all up. Remember, the negative side of the resistor is on this side. So if I want to connect this negative lead of the multimeter, I will go ahead and do so right here. And the positive lead, this guy will come on, right there. This guy will connect right there. This guy will connect right there. This guy will connect over to here. And notice that the wire is touching the lettering of R4. I can nudge that wire up, come over to here, and same here. Now this particular guy, negative side is on this side. Nudge this wire up, bring the whole multimeter up, like so. And now bring this guy over to here, nudge this wire up. Okay, cool. So we happen to have all of these in place, all the multimeters, and let's go ahead and hit simulate and run. And in the run mode, what did we, this was the multimeter for number 1. If I want to see the multimeter display for number 5, this is on R1. R1's voltage was 4.38. And guess what? We have 4.38. We suspected R3 to be 13.32. Double click this guy. Guess what? I've got my 13.32. The R4 we suspected should be 4.40. Double click. Guess what? Measures out to be 14.40. And then this last one over here, double click. We suspected 10.28 and we measured 10.28. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Right there, right there. So this way I'm not bringing any of my original wires.
I'm sorry, can you confirm, the voltage on R4 again? I'm sorry.
The voltage on R4 was XMM4 and XMM4 on this was 13.318. So our calculation of 13.32 is a correct rounding of the physical measurement of 13.318.
Okay.
That was for R3. I'm sorry. Did you want R4?
Yes, please.
Okay, R4 we determined was 4.40 volts. And on the measurement, it came out to be 4.40, looks like 405.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that would round to be 4.41 according to the multisim.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. So this is a quick analysis using multisim on the circuit that we just analyzed on paper. And the recording of this session will be in its entirety as we go through another discussion. But also what I've done in the previous discussions, I've broken up the specific topics separately. So if we're done with this, and I'm very happy with this particular portion of our discussion, what I'm going to do is file, because I saved it before. So I want to do another save as, make sure it's going to the destination where I want. The destination is my thumb drive in our 50 folder, and the name was week 11 series parallel with a 5R. So I'm going to hit save. And yes, I want to replace it. And now it is saved with all of the things around it. Now, when you go to do this, send me your multisim file. All you need to do is to click your little handy snip tool, and your snip tool will come on the screen. So there's your handy little snip tool. And then click on New. Everything goes gray. Oh yeah, actually before you do, I gotta cancel. Hold on one sec. We have one more thing to do. You have to let me know this is you. So we are going to place, so go to the place command, hit text, and you will be creating a text box. So in the text box, you are going to type and then 4 dash, what day is today? 8-20. All right, so your name will be in there on the text box. You select, deselect, and then now do a file save as, because your final save as has to have your name on it. Yes, I do want to replace the previous one. And so now when you bring in your snip tool, there's our snip tool, and you hit new. And all you have to do is capture from here all the way down to here. And the most notable things that you're going to capture in this screen, you're going to paste this into a Word document. And what's captured on the screen is the day of the week, the month, the date, the time that it was done, and your name. And that's what you have to do to turn in. So you'll have a fun one to build. Any questions on this?